Hello, I am Spencer Nielsen of CS Reviews, and this next movie is a personal favorite of mine. It is a 1954 classic from Japan. Yes, this movie has, you might say, if you have seen the movie Godzilla, King of the Monsters, you might say, oh, I've seen this movie. No, you have not. This is the 1954 Japanese version, with the original version of Godzilla, King of the Monsters. It's called Gojira, or Godzilla. It is it's a post-World War II epic of a monster that terrorizes Tokyo. And the thing about it is, the story is, there's ships and a yacht, like a little party boat. Everyone's all having a good time. Then they see the sea erupts into flames, and then their ship just is engulfed in flames, and then the final SOS is telling them that they don't know what happened, but there's no survivors, but there's a final SOS that was said. And so they investigate, and then that ship, same thing happens to that. And then they go to a neighboring island called Odo Island, and there's a bunch of superstitious natives, mainly the older ones. They think it's Godzilla, an ancient legend, which is long gone. Only the old people believe in it, all the young people go, oh, well, that's just old crap. No need for that junk. But there's a scene where there's this old guy saying, it's Godzilla! And on the second thing, that there's survivors, like 3 of them, and then one of them is a brother of another person, and they find him washed, and they're talking, it's Godzilla, he's come back for revenge. And then the young people are like, oh, you're absurd, it was probably like a mine. And then they're like, but the things didn't say it was a mine or a collision or an accident. But yes, I know, just saying it sounds like some cheesy creature feature, but it is actually a protest movie, kind of. Godzilla is resurrected from the H-bombs that have been dropped on Hiroshima and Osaka at the end of World War II. And that's kind of how World War II ended. And angered, he comes back, and Godzilla in the movie is actually a metaphor for a walking atomic bomb. Yeah, once again, more cheesy cornball thing, but it is actually a very powerful movie. There's this one part where, on the final Godzilla's, the climax, I guess you could call it the first climax, because there's kind of 2. Yeah, but the first one's like the big. It's Godzilla's like 10-minute stroll through Tokyo. And oh my goodness, there's this part where it shows the mom and the kids on the sidewalk, and then they look up, and then they see Godzilla's head, and he's like about to breathe fire on them. And they go, kids, we're gonna be with our father. We're gonna be with your father soon. And then you see. And that part was really, really hard to watch. And it's a very powerful movie. Now, a thing I really liked about this movie are the special effects. A lot of people give Godzilla special effects crap and piles of junk just because it's not up to today's special effects. But it doesn't have the special effects of Transformers, Revenge of the Fallen. But you know what I like? What would I rather watch? What would you rather watch? Okay, what would you rather watch? A movie that has great visuals, but is terrible, or something that has good special effects for its time, but are rather subpar on today's standards, that is incredible? If I were you, I'd choose the old one. And I'm not just saying that out of, because I love this movie. Kind of am, because I want you to see this movie, but the special effects in this movie are like this. yes, there's this cheesy part where Godzilla comes, but you don't see him, and he tramples the helicopter. And then you see a trampled, like like a toy helicopter got ran over, and they just had it on the set and had a fan blowing it over. But in that same scene, there's water that's being like on like ocean waves crashing, and if you look at it, it is the water. You're like, oh yeah, it's just a shore crashing. No, it is not a shore crashing. It is a set with water that's made to look small. You're thinking, I don't really get what you're trying to say. Okay, water is, you can't control the size or shape of water. That's just, it's kind of the way, wherever the wind blows, that's what it does. But in this movie, they actually, not actually, but they didn't actually make it do whatever, but they released just enough to make it, and it was hard to do, but they made it look smaller than it actually was. And that, people just say, oh, because they're like watching the scene, they're like, okay, there's a hurricane. That's a toy helicopter that was trampled or ran over. So cheesy. Yes, no, it's not like that. Yes, that is parts cheesy, but see, and then Godzilla's final stroll. Yeah, the models are fantastic of Tokyo. They're actually very strong because the guy who was playing Godzilla, who passed out often, and they could only do like 5-minute snippet takes at a time, 10-minute break, 5 more minutes, and there it was. The guy lost 20 pounds. But there was the second movie where he fell over on a building, and it still did not, he collapsed on a building, but it did not break it. He really had to go to make it go. But this movie, now mind this. The movie is in black and white. It's in Japanese, so you need to watch subtitles. And I do not want these two things to prevent you from watching it. That is what I really, really, really do not like. When people say, hey, do you want to come watch? Like, hey, you know it's a good movie? What? Citizen Kane, that's a very good movie. Oh, really? What's it about? Well, I don't want to tell you too much about it, but okay, well, how old is it? Oh, it's from 1941. So it's in black and white. Yeah, I don't want to watch it. What? Or this is a foreign film, it's very good. But yeah, but foreign films, they don't understand the language, and I have to read, and I already read enough in school. It's ignorance. Don't like it. But this movie, back to the movie, not about why people don't want to watch this movie, despite how good it is. But cons. There are a couple things that are a little unsatisfactory, and mainly it's because the age it is, but back then, I'm used to watching today's movies. Once again, I'm not the best on watching these older movies. One is the close-ups on Godzilla. They look absolutely nothing like the actual costume. And another thing is the way it's filmed. It's like fast. It's like, and if it's back then, this was an actual horror movie, and it scared people stiff to watch it. I know now people laugh at it, but it's very fast, and I think it would have been more creepier and edgier if it was slower, and moved it from 90 minutes to, or 100 minutes to an hour and a half. It still wouldn't have. I think it would have made it a little bit better, but those are just a couple minor things. Now some of the acting's great. Now, in the version that's for the American version, Dr. Yamane, the old paleontologist, that's the father of the girl in the movie. The guy has very dopey dubbing in the Godzilla King of the Monsters. But yeah, this is so much better than the American counterpart. I heavily advise you watch this. You can get it on Netflix or buy it on eBay. you need to watch this if you like good movies. Yes, it's very different than what you're probably used to watching, but it is still very, very, very good. And yeah, I'd give this movie a 8 out of 10 or 4 out of 5 stars. Please watch this movie. It's very good. I got the Godzilla box set on eBay for $45.01, including shipping. Don't buy it if it says USPS shipping. I got the box. It was like one side was like hit, and just like a big like bump right there. And I'm like, and when I got in the mail, the thing was like jammed in my mailbox. When I got it out and undid it, there was like white marks on the edges, like you can see it was worn. But then again, the box is to make it look all aged and worn metal, so it didn't completely destroy it. But please watch this. 8 out of 10, 4 out of 5 stars. It's a good movie, and it's not just some lame, poorly made creature feature. It is a classic directed by Ishiro Honda. Please watch this movie. Have a good day.